Notes on my floor, plans that I drew, every red line pulling me from you. I chased every road till the roads ran out. Now it's cracked dry ground and a quiet doubt. But in the still, I hear you call my name through the static of my shame. You're my true north. When the compass bends, when the night pulls hard and the dark creeps in, you cut through the noise with love that won't move. Jesus, you're the center. Every road comes back to you. And a quiet doubt, but in the still, I hear you call my name through the static of my shame. You're my true north. When the compass bends, when the night pulls hard and the dark creeps in, you cut through the noise with love that ran out. Now it's cracked dry ground and a quiet doubt. But in the still, I hear you call my name through the static of my shame. You're my true north. When the compass bends, when the night pulls hard and the dark.
Well, we're chatting.
And we're live on YouTube. Go ahead and do our introductions for us if you don't mind. I'm going to sit here and see if I can figure out what's going on.
Welcome back, everybody. This is our daily True North podcast. I'm Vince. That over
Kyle.
there is, there's Kyle. I understand how difficult, it's actually a difficult job. I feel for Matt now. And below us is Matt, who is having technical difficulties, which really they're our technical difficulties because he's in control of everything. But while he's working on that, we're just going to chat it up for a little bit and have a little bit of fun before we get into tonight's devotional. And I'll stop doing that voice. I'm sorry.
I loved it. I was here for it.
There we go. We're live
yeah,
on Facebook. All right.
I feel bad doing it, though. Like I really do.
All right.
Just makes me think of Groundhog Day.
Okay. Everything's working.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Sweet.
My wife and I, we watch Groundhog Day every year on Groundhog Day, which I'm sure if you told Bill Murray, he would probably, if I met him and told him that, he might punch me in the face because he actually hates that movie.
Why?
Because of how awful it was to make with Sam Raimi.
Oh,
Is it Sam Raimi? Whatever, Sam Ramis, his buddy, who they made Ghostbusters together, ruined their friendship.
I
What's the matter, bud?
I'm
I'm over here sharing links. Do I need to stop sharing links?
No, Kaylani says, hey, me and the kids are listening tonight. I typed a message that was supposed to say, tell them Skipless says, hey. It auto-corrected to Skinless. I saw it and I was like, no. Can I edit this? And I had to remove it.
This has taken a turn that we did not expect.
I'm in shambles tonight, okay?
My first thought was like that little video. It's like, no. Wait.
Now. Oh.
Oh, goodness
Oh, that's
gracious.
nasty.
Wait, it's gonna be a good one. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? Your life right now is on par with tonight's topic of just having adversities.
Listen, man.
This is why we needed a part two.
This is something else at this point, man. Like, so I figured out that you have to give before you start the Facebook stream up. You have to give it a solid 30 seconds from the time you start the first one. So that's what keeps it from crashing. I'm about to.
No one said that we are professionals. We are learning as we go, and by we I mean you.
Well,
we don't know how to do any of this. Oh, Matt.
well, unfortunately, all the stuff is on my computer. If it was something to where I could pass this or have remote access to it, I would gladly just swap out sometimes, but I can't. So, like all the graphics, the animations, the music, the little logos at the bottom, those are all saved files that you have to layer together to create the picture. So, like, y'all could download OBS for free.
Well, let me look it up here.
But hang on, then I have to figure out how to get files to you because the files are very large and they won't send through email or text message. Then I have to send an SD card to Michigan if I want Kyle to have all this stuff.
Can't you just send a zip
They're
file?
that large?
Yeah, so the music file is pretty large. The graphic animation file is pretty large. Yeah. It's awesome.
There's a way. I mean, I've
Box.com. There's all sorts of stuff. Hey,
Oh, no,
Teeny's on
it's like-
Facebook.
Hey, nice. What's up, Teeny?
I just realized
Who's
I called him
that?
Teeny. Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
All right, man. What a freaking day.
Welcome to Facebook. We're finally back on Facebook.
It's 2009. Yay!
Yeah. So
You all right, bud?
yeah, I'm not gonna share it on stream. I was gonna show you my notebook, but it's got all sorts of things written down in it. It doesn't need to be on this on the interwebs. But what do y'all think about maybe doing a audio only podcast once a week that is just audio, no video, that we can stream to Spotify and Amazon Music? So
Will we still get to look at each other?
we can. Yeah, I think we should. Yes. Yes.
I'm with you.
Yeah. We need
with
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we could just.
I'm thinking like 45 minutes, like 45, maybe hour tops.
We could do these that way.
I can't. It doesn't work that way.
Okay, we can talk about it later, like how you would arrange it differently.
Well, it wouldn't be this, is what I'm saying. It wouldn't be what we're doing here. It would be like we'd pick a topic. Let's say the first stream is things men struggle with on a daily basis from a Christian standpoint, right? And then we just have a discussion of like what we're seeing in the world. Talk those things through. You know, we can pull up Bible verses as we're talking to combat and, you know, have not argument, but a conversation about these things, like just in a more open format where it's just us having a conversation. Like, think about like what we talk about when we come off stream here on some things, and think of it as that almost.
Okay. I mean, I get
Something
what
to
you're
think
saying.
about,
How
yeah.
they're different.
Yeah. Because if I don't, it sucks because reading a devotional through requires it to be video. Like, that way people can follow along with what you're doing and what you're saying. And, you know, maybe I don't know. Again, literally a corner of the notebook at this point. Sure thing, buddy. Love you. Oh, why am I reading Kyle's comments? I will be back.
I'm.
I was like, sure thing, buddy. Love you. Love you too, Kyle. Like, it's weird.
Aw,
I will be back.
He
I just needed
says
to
he
stop
said it
you.
on Facebook too. It's Facebook official.
I retract that statement. Kyle, be better.
I need Adderall, man. You better shut up.
you do need Adderall.
Oh. Yes, Teeny's going back to work. He just wanted to stop in and say hi.
Oh, okay. Well,
okay.
Have a good day at work, man. I liked Zach's sermon on work on Sunday. It was actually nice because it was a very familiar topic, because we've covered it a couple of times at this point. Hey, Dustin, how you doing, brother? Hope you're doing all right. Glad to see you in here. This is cool. Hope you and your family are doing good. Hope work's going good for you. But going back to what I was saying, we've talked about what it's like to be a Christian in our workplace so many times and like the example that we set and all these things. And I really enjoyed his sermon.
It's not very often you get preached a sermon like, I've kind of been over this. This is kind of nice. I feel like I did the homework for once.
Yeah, that's how it felt. Yeah, 100%. Which was, yeah, like you said, it was nice. Yeah.
If I may ask, has there been any updates on Haley's grandma? Like how is she holding up?
You know what? Like, I feel like a terrible person for not even asking today. Stand by. I'm gonna be on mute for a second.
Okay. How was your day today, buddy?
Oh, I had a full day somehow and never left home. Well, sorta. I got up early, went for a run, got home, and immediately my 6-year-old was like, "Dad, you promised to shoot bows with me." I'm like, okay, let's do that right now, because if I put this off, I'm just gonna keep putting it off. So I went in and he got his bow. His sister got one of her brothers. I actually strung up my my recurve and took that out there for a little bit, and we just shot bows for maybe 30 minutes or so. That's as much as the kids wanted. I was rusty, kind of annoyed me. I decided like, oh, I'm gonna step back here, walking around to the where we shoot from. But like at 35 yards, I'm just using a recurve with no sights. Like I'm gonna shoot at my target from here, and I immediately buried the first arrow into the oak tree 2 feet to the right of the target. I'm like, look what I get to do.
There's $30.
Oh no, it's a field point. It's not that much, but
fair. Okay.
luckily it caught just like the edge of the target, barely, because you heard it go thunk, like, oh. But it was enough that like I could just kind of wiggle it, and I got that out of there. So that was bad.
That's good.
But from there, I did a bunch of yard work. I kept hauling off the cedar trees that I had been collecting and cutting down. Then after that, I weed eated and worked on the lawnmower, and then dug a trench to keep the water from flowing down like directly up to the foundation of my house. In the end, I didn't come inside after that. After going back out, because after we got done shooting bows, I went in and changed, and did not come back inside until like 3 o'clock. And it was hot, and I was working the whole time. So it was kind of a full day. And then my wife had an eye appointment, and so I had the kids while she was out doing that. But it's kind of nice, though. My son likes to mow. We bought a mower last October, and he can, operate the 0 turns. So, like, go for it, buddy.
Hey, good man. Good man.
I think, though, he has mowed several times just for the fun of it. I'm like, hey, now you're just spending my gas money. You got to stop. Like,
Um,
and he hit something with the mower blades, like the third or fourth time, and absolutely just bent the snot out of him. That was
just a quick update. Haley's getting an update right now. So
Okay. Yep.
soon as
Update to an update.
yeah, as soon as I have something, I'll let you know. All right.
update inbound.
We are 15 after. Let's go ahead and get rolling. We got quite a few
Yep.
people in with us tonight. We got a couple on Facebook and a couple on YouTube. So
Absolutely.
tonight's devotional is titled A Purpose of Adversity. Adversity is often God's tool for teaching us to hate sin and run toward Him. So we're going to be reading out of Psalm tonight, or Psalms. The first one is Psalm 37, 23 through 28, but we're going to read on the second one, Psalm 97. We're just going to read the whole chapter. I guess it's only 12 verses, so why not? You know what I mean? So, Vince, whenever you're ready, sir, I have 23 up and ready for you.
The steps of a man are established by the Lord when he delights in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be cast headlong, for the Lord upholds his hand. I have been young and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken or his children begging for bread. He is ever lending generously, and his children become a blessing. Turn away from evil and do good, so shall you dwell forever. For the Lord loves justice, he will not forsake his saints. They are preserved forever, but the children of the wicked shall be cut off.
Okay. Which one's the next one? Psalm 97?
Yes, sir.
97. The focus that they had for this one is verse 97, verse 10, but
okay.
I'll read all of it.
Kyle, whenever you're ready, sir.
Okay. The Lord reigns. Let the earth rejoice. Let the many coastlands be glad. Clouds and thick darkness are all around him. Righteous and justice are the foundation of his throne. Fire goes before him and burns up his adversaries all around. His lightnings light up the world. The earth sees and trembles. The mountains melt like wax before the Lord of all the earth. The heavens proclaim his righteousness, and all the people see his glory. All worshippers of images are put to shame, who make their boast in worthless idols. Worship him, all you gods. Zion hears and is glad, and the daughters of Judah rejoice, because of your judgments, O Lord. For you, O Lord, are most high over all the earth, and are exalted far above all gods. O you who love the Lord, hate evil. He preserves the lives of his saints. He delivers them from the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, and joy for the upright in heart. Rejoice in the Lord, O you righteous, and give thanks to his holy name.
Awesome. Kyle, I think you might have the same problem I do. So,
What's
do you
that?
have the little bubble boxes that have the comment section that you can click on throughout the verses?
Like the A's, B's, C's. Is that
No,
what you're
like
talking about?
look at the live stream.
Oh no, nope, no.
Okay.
What is that?
So these are all references to what it's saying elsewhere, right? So when I read, those little things mess me up all the time because it's a long space.
Oh no,
Okay.
I'm just not a good reader.
Okay, perfect. Me too.
I'm good internally, not externally.
Yeah, we have the same problem then. All right, fair enough.
No, I'm still reading off of the Bible Gateway.
All right.
97, verse 10, just to get it out there. O you who love the Lord, hate evil. He preserves in the lives of his saints. He delivers them from the hand of the wicked. That was the highlight verse, but I like reading all of it when it's a short enough passage.
Yeah.
And 12 verses in a psalm, we can read that.
Yeah. All right. So tonight's devotional, it says, when we're walking through adversity, it's easy to focus exclusively on the momentary trouble. God, however, has specific purposes for bringing us through times of hardship. One reason he may allow trials is to teach us to follow him more closely by rejecting sin. In Psalm 97:10, we are told, "Hate evil, you who love the Lord." Isn't it true that we sometimes don't act as if we hate evil? We may say, evil is all around me in this world, so I guess it's inescapable. The best I can hope to do is try and manage it. But we are not commanded to manage evil. Instead, we are instructed to hate its very presence. In today's passage, verse 27 says, "Depart from evil and do good, so you will abide forever." When we see evil, we are to turn around and run in the opposite direction. Adversity has a way of clarifying things. In difficult seasons, God refines our spiritual vision, and we begin to see sin's destructiveness more clearly. The hardship that once felt purposeless becomes the very means by which he draws us closer to himself, teaching us to cling to what is good and flee from what destroys. Okay, there's some things to unpack in this one. I mean, it really ties into a lot of what we were talking about last night, but this is more focused on sin and the evil in the world. Where I think yesterday it was more circumstantial in our lives, the adversities that we face. So we're kind of looking at it from a different perspective tonight as far as adversity goes. But Vince, are you ready to go ahead and share some thoughts, or do you need a second? Or
I might need a second because,
okay,
even though this is talking about the sin we face, that's not where my mind went immediately.
Okay, where did it go?
God, however, has specific purposes for us, bringing us through times of hardship. Until that we started talking about sin here, and I see that with the reading and that we had tonight, that sin is the focus on it. I remember being in times of hardship and not being able to see a way out, right? But I also remember being in probably the worst one and seeing the wages of letting something like that destroy you. What comes from that? Probably the most difficult thing I've ever had to do was go wake my 9-year-old son up and tell him that his baby brother had died. And in that moment, I had no idea how I was going to do that. But I saw a chasm open on one side, and in it was everything that was darkness. And I had a choice to make, and that choice was to tell him about the hope in Jesus Christ, even if I didn't feel like it. Because even at that moment, I could see that one side of that, there was no way out. But the other one professed hope in all things. Even though I can tell you, I'm not sure I wanted it. Because I didn't want to see any good in that situation. I didn't want to see anything. To find hope in a situation like that is not something you even want to do because it feels like it diminishes the impact. It takes away from it.
Yeah.
I know we talked about it yesterday, and we're talking about adversity, and we're going through talking about adversity, and I don't want to sit there and that's the worst thing that's happened in my life,
Hmm.
and I don't want to sit there and drum on it, but sometimes I just can't. I can't think of anything else, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we are talking about adversity, and that is, I mean, I could only assume that was probably one of your greatest adversities in your whole life. Like, and I think that's a safe assumption to think. Um, but I mean, listen, I don't think there's anything ever wrong with sharing that story at all. And you bring it up as much as you want to. Like, I there's so much that people can hear from that, and I think there's a lot of things in that alone that can really open the eyes of people to God's goodness. Um, because
You know,
it's how you say it. You know what I mean? Like it's the story about even the people during that time, like seeing their intentions, like seeing the intent of their heart, even though they didn't know how to respond, they didn't know how to do all these things. The goodness that you saw, and to me, that's a powerful point of that. You know what I mean? So,
I told you I went for a run this morning,
mhm,
and usually when I run from the house, I run one place
mhm,
and then I run home because we are 4.13 miles from the cemetery,
okay,
and I'll run there and I'll run home.
mhm,
And so I ran there this morning, and of course I always stopped there, and I was thinking about it. Someone had put up a little cross next to his headstone at Easter, and I noticed this time that someone had changed out the little fake flowers that are in the vase there. And I actually had planted some mums and made a raised bed
mhm,
over his grave last year or year. I know that was 24. I did that in 2024. But I noticed that somebody had, and I know who it is, had added more wood chips around those mums
mhm,
and trimmed off the dead ones because a couple of them had died, and then placed some white rocks and some little blue stones around on the top that rather than just spread the new wood chips over top of everything, they
mhm,
saved some of those and spread them around. But I was also sitting there, and every time I see it, I think about it. You know, we didn't pay for that headstone.
mhm,
Someone covered that for us.
mhm.
Oh, and it makes me think about the people who were there during that time,
Yeah.
the people who were in the boat with us
Mm,
during that season, and it's a lot of people who are still there in the boat with us now. Uh, but yeah, you know, you get there and you deal with something like that, and everything else seems kind of small.
mhm,
And whenever I talk about the choices you make during difficult times, that it's not about whatever you has been put in front of you. It's about the choices you make with those things
mhm.
that matter. And of course, I'm thinking about my son whenever I'm doing that.
Yeah.
When I'm saying that, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
So,
And that's fair. Well, appreciate you sharing that, man. That's good. Kyle?
Al, what you got?
I'm glad you get to follow up.
Yeah, I was gonna say thanks.
Maybe I should have gone last.
No,
No,
no.
no.
I'll echo Matt. It's a very powerful testimony,
Mm,
and it it brings a lot of realism into these, and I appreciate that. Because we could just read these and have nothing to give, and then there's some days where you speak from the heart, and those days are, I mean, those days I enjoy. Not that I enjoy you reliving.
Oh no, I know you.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
thank you. But I like the last sentence in the second paragraph there of the best I can hope to do is to try and manage it. It's not saying we have to be perfect. It's not saying that we have to get everything right every single time, but it's saying that we can try. But
Well,
even when we fail, sorry, go ahead.
read that next sentence though.
Which one?
The literally the next sentence.
But we're not commanded to manage evil.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
But I mean, I know what you're saying.
What do you got for us, Matt?
Okay, so all right. When I'm reading this, go ahead.
Do y'all remember? So y'all watched The Mummy, right? Brendan Fraser back in the day.
Classic. Yep.
Matt didn't. Okay.
I don't
Well,
know.
the little kind of dweeby guy who speaks all the languages.
Yep.
And
Yep.
ends up
Yep.
being the right hand man of Imhotep just because he speaks Hebrew and can understand what he's talking about. And he says that line in there, like, it's better to be the right hand of the devil than in his path. And he makes his choice, and rather than stick up for anybody, he goes along with the evil villain's plan, right? Well, we're not called to be the guy going along with the plan just because it's dangerous to do anything else. I think that's the point of what it's being said here. The best I can do is to try and manage it. Well, no, you're kind of it shouldn't be you trying to manage it. You should be getting help to deal with the evil in your life and not go along with the evil of the world.
Touche.
Yeah, so when I'm reading this, when it says we're instructed to hate its very presence, right? Like we're not commanded to manage evil. I think of that as not being a part of the world. We're called to be set apart from the world. So the world, which is called the world's sin. So we're to hate the world and the worldly ways of things, and what the world considers acceptable and all these things. So when I'm thinking of this, I think of like, what does the world find acceptable? And those are probably the things I should run the furthest away from. But there are times where things of this world, like this is saying, like, isn't it true that we sometimes don't act as if we hate evil?
Yeah.
That's a very common thing just in sin in general, right? Because we're not perfect, we will still fall into it. But we're to acknowledge it and run from it. That's what we're commanded to do. So when I read this, I think of a couple of things. I think of, seeing things of the world and being drawn to it instead of running away from it. I see it from that perspective. I also see it as like, from a personal standpoint, struggles with addiction, those kinds of things. I see the things that the world liked to do. Like when you party, there's all these drugs and all these things around, right? And, that's part of the world. But what I see in that is when I didn't do what I was instructed to do, to hate its very presence, I indulged in it. I loved it. Like it became, to be honest, an addiction, to a lot of different things. So, I can see the flip side of what it looks like to not do what we're commanded to do and what that does to your life, what that does to your relationship with God. And, over time, it just grows into other and more things. Like, so that addiction that started off as like very, start off with weed, and then you hard progress to cocaine, and now you're addicted to that. And then you go from that, and now you join the military, but you never got right with God in between all that. So now you've taken this sin into a new place, and then now you're becoming angry. You're an angry person. You hate everybody. You're not loving people the way you should. You're not forgiving people the way you should. You're not treating marriage the way you should. Like, all these things are a direct result of going against what we've been instructed to do. So for me, when I'm reading this, I very much see my eyes being open to how important it is to do what we're commanded to do, not just what we're commanded to do, but the importance of it. Meaning, if I am not constantly going to Christ and seeking him and laying this at his feet, if I stop doing that, I know what my life becomes from that. And I know that it's a very dark, dark place. And it can put you in a very dark place. But, and like it says in verse 27, if you depart from evil and do good, you will abide forever. So you will abide forever. So, when we talk about sexual immorality, it says to run from it, to flee, to run, right? Like, that is something that is a command to do. And that is something that, gripping in culture right now of the world, right? That is a problem that so many people struggle with. Even though we know that this is what it says to do, we still struggle with it. But it's, how many times do you fall? You have to get back up every time. You have to go back to Christ, lay it out for him, and there's nothing wrong with that part. Like, that's what we're called to do. We should actively be trying to cut that out of our lives, right? But, I think just that adversity of living in the world as a whole, because I think if we look at it in that viewpoint, we all have that same adversity. We all have the temptations of the world around us. But if we're asking ourselves, is this of the world and does this glorify God? If we ask those two questions, we can pretty quickly identify the things that we should not be doing, right? But I see this adversity thing as living in and of the world kind of thing. So that's kind of what I have on this. Because it says adversity has a way of clarifying things. In difficult seasons, God refines our spiritual vision, and we begin to see sin's destructiveness more clearly. So that's kind of weird, because I also see that not in just difficult seasons, but even in good seasons, coming out of difficult seasons, right? So it may take coming out of it, being in a good part of your life, to really recognize the destructiveness that sin created in your life. Because, we've talked about this before, but like, how easy is it for us to recognize what God is doing in your life when you're going through it sometimes? You know what I mean? How easy is it for us to miss it? But when we get on the other side of it, how much easier is it for us to see his hand in our life through those points? So,
Well, C.S. Lewis puts it like this, that God is taking little toy soldiers made out of tin and turning them into people, right? But the whole time, the toy soldier is complaining because the tin is being ruined and turned into flesh and blood.
huh. Yeah. And that last sentence there, it says the hardship that once felt purposeless becomes the very means by which he draws us closer to himself. So, and I can that resonates with me because of obviously how I came back to faith. But that is a huge purpose. Like, that is, I live a very purpose-driven life now because of that, because of what I've been through and what I know to be true now. You know what I'm saying? But he used that hardship and that drew me the closest I've ever been with him. Um, and you know that it says teaching us to cling to what is good and flee from what destroys. And man, like I'll say this: I would rather cling to what is good and absolutely free from what destroys, because I know what that life is like, and I don't ever, ever want to go back to that. I cling to God every day because I don't want to be the way I used to be. But He made me a new person, so I think we have a comment here. Kehlani says, "Yeah, we go along with things just to make a scene, thinking we are not being confrontational. We're instead accepting evil. Sometimes we need to speak up and say yes, run from evil."
Just to not make a scene.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yep. Just to not make a scene, right?
Or to not be the odd person out, to not be the
Yeah.
weird one in a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be that can honestly be way more difficult than we give it credit for.
Mm-hmm.
Is speaking up to be the weird one,
Yeah.
right? There's a friend of ours who I know who we know through church, and you know, my wife and her, they have talked a lot, and at her workplace, she's the weird one. She's the Christian, and it's weird.
Hmm.
And to speak up in that place, to know that you are going to be singled out
Mm-hmm.
because you are different, that you're going to have a baseline of a worldview that is going to reject certain things and accept others. It can feel alienating, and especially if you don't know people. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't know your audience, if you don't know the people around you, you're just meeting new people. But it can also create connections. You can meet new believers that you would never have known are believers,
Mm-hmm.
simply because you're willing to stand on a principle that the world rejects.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it can be as easy as just not going along with a joke, or you know, just a flippant comment
Mm-hmm.
about whatever bit of worldly nonsense. You were talking about sexual immorality,
Mm-hmm.
like just not accepting like somebody's comments about a person passing by. Like, you know what? I'm not even gonna. And it's not saying like, you know, dig into them about it, but it's also not going along with it.
Yeah. We talked about like gossiping at the workplace, like we have a decision to make, right? And like sometimes I feel like that can tie into what you're saying here is you know, not wanting to feel like the oddball out of people standing around talking about somebody, to be that weird person that's like, no, I'm gonna take a stand against what I see is wrong. And you know, but it is very easy to be a participant in things like that sometimes, just to
Well, and
not.
you can not know you're doing it.
Yeah,
While you're doing it,
yeah, that's true
you
too.
may realize later,
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
and then you get to go, "Oh,
Dang it.
I did that."
Yeah. Kyle, what do you got, buddy?
I'm trying to figure out how to word it. Um, so if there are, I think we've talked about this before. If there are people that we do not agree with, or actions that we do not agree with, or um, you know, themes or however you want to put it that we don't agree with,
Mm,
is because I recognize what you guys are saying. I recognize the point of this is if we see that it's not Christian, it's not God, run from it. Um, and I used to be in the mindset of, as long as it doesn't affect me, as long as you don't push it upon me, as long as you don't try to make me accept either your choices, your themes, your lifestyle, then we're clear water. But as soon as you try to like push me to accept it, that's where the line is crossed.
mm,
But in this, it says to run from it. Um, and I'm more or less picking up the run forward spiritually, not physically. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yes,
However,
I was gonna bring that up.
yes,
I forgot
because
about
I was going to ask if we're always running from it physically, so that we are not part of that. We're not part of those life decisions, those themes. How are we to be an image bearer of God? How are we to have those opportunities to spread the good word and ultimately be able to show that we are different, that we are not of the world, to make people curious that, well, what did they have that I don't have? I want that.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, what it
but
does not mean is, someone brings up marijuana and then you yeet yourself out of a moving vehicle so you don't have to hear about it. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what it means.
I love that word so much. Cracks
I
me up
was
every time I
annoyed by
hear
it at first, but I've grown to love it eventually.
It's
Yeah.
same.
Um, but yeah, it's run from it spiritually, and
Yeah.
that means not accepting something you don't believe in,
Hmm.
to speak truth even when it's difficult, and it can just be a tiniest word, just like nah. Like someone says something that as truth and goes, you know what I mean, and you can just go, no, I don't think that's true. It, it can be
No,
as simple as that,
Mm.
now,
but
is it better to just internalize it and just, reflect it upon it yourself and just say, nope, that's not, mentally, that's not right. That's not something I want to invest into. Or is it better to verbalize that to that person of, hey, I don't agree with that. Please, please refrain from
well, it's not even.
so is it better to express your beliefs and kind of intervene your beliefs it
I would just make a
or
note, like telling them, don't talk to me about it. To refrain from giving, miss me with that nonsense. That's kind of once yeah, once you start giving people directives on how they are to communicate with you, that's a different area where it's like that's
right.
not gonna. But you can just tell 'em, no. You can just disagree,
Hmm.
and if they are vehement enough about it, they will melt down if you just disagree. Some people will melt down just
Hmm.
because you disagreed with them,
Hmm.
especially if it's something that they have made integral to their person that is of the world. They will melt down over it.
Hmm.
Even if you so much as say no.
Kyle, think back on it. Think back on right before what made you notice a, something different. What was going on? Remember, you asked me, you're like, there was the conversation about not cussing anymore. Had I drawn a line and said, hey, no cussing around me, right? What would that have
Hmm.
done? That wouldn't have done, I don't think it would have had the same kind of effect. I think it would have actually maybe pushed you a little bit further away. Because now I'm sitting here I'm drawing a hard line in the sand is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And saying, hey, I
Right.
don't want to talk to you if you can't stop doing this.
Right.
If I was to take that approach, there would have never been that curiosity of what changed. What would have
Hmm.
sparked the conversation that led to your salvation. You know what I'm
And see,
saying?
and that, yeah, because I mean, like, that's the thing. If you were to vocalize, "Hey guys, I have stopped swearing. Um, this is a choice in life that I've decided to make." If you were
Mm-hmm.
to verbalize that, I might have still had that curiosity of like, huh, I wonder what sparked that. Now, if you would have came across and said, "Hey
Mm-hmm.
guys, I've made this decision, so I want you guys to respect that and you guys stop swearing as well."
Mm-hmm.
That's what would have gotten the negative reaction because
Right.
no, you can't control my life. Like
Right.
Now maybe you could
that's
be
the
like,
distinction there
Yeah.
between,
you
not
know,
necessarily accepting
Uh-huh.
and,
you can maybe
verbalizing.
ask somebody to be polite. Like if we're playing Simon Says,
Hmm.
don't say, Simon Says and something you're not supposed to say just to get you to say it. Like you're gonna win the game every time and it's not fun anymore, right? Um, but yeah, there's a line there.
Mm.
But there's another part of that. If someone notices that you refuse to say something, one, they may scoff at it 100 times, and then someday they may ask you why.
Mhm.
But in the end, if you ask somebody, if you try to give directives about what other people should do, you may be asking for a certain morality from people who have not yet decided whether or not there is a difference between good and evil,
Mhm.
Right.
which is you're just swimming upstream at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and it brings in the you know the standing firm in the faith and versus just not necessarily idly accepting it, but just remaining passive, if that makes
Well,
sense.
okay. I'm thinking of an example, right? With
Hmm.
mutual friends. Like, okay,
Yes.
if we were to sit there and say, I don't think there's passive because we're actively choosing to not be a certain way. I think
Yes.
passive in that scenario would actually be to cave into it and to accept it as normal and to accept it as appropriate. I think that would be the passive trait of that. I don't think there's
Fair.
like, for instance, when Jesus went and met with sinners and sat and ate with them, he wasn't
Hmm.
partaking in their sin. He was trying to
Hmm.
draw them
Hmm.
close to him, right? Like to
Hmm.
let them know who he was. So I view that certain scenarios. I'm not saying every scenario is appropriate for that, right? Like if you struggle with addiction or substance or whatever it is, I'm not saying to go to a crack house and be tempted to smoke crack because you're trying to show the love of Christ. I'm not at that. I don't think that's wise.
Right.
But if you're in a spot to where maybe you're firm enough to go, I'm not gonna cuss no matter what people say around me.
Right.
Instead, I'm gonna choose to show what what God's done in my life, and
Yes.
now my life is different because of that. I think that's a little bit different.
Fair.
But uh, you know, because here's the thing: like we do live in this world, but we are not a part of this world.
Hmm.
So it's going to be around us. Like it just, quite frankly, it is in your work, in your day to day life, all your encounters. If we could just choose to be around Christians all the time, there'd be no ministry. You know what I'm saying? So
Fair.
there is a level to that to where you have to know that these people aren't where you are and to recognize that, but not to condemn them for that, but just show what God's done in your life just by how you live. So, but God is also not wanting you to go to places to where you're going to be tempted to fall back into sin that you struggle with either. You know what I mean? Like if you're struggling with porn, he's not going to ask you to be a video director on a movie set. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's just not something
Right.
that's going to happen. Like I don't know.
I guess I just got a mental image of go out into the darkness, but be the light,
Mm,
which
That's correct,
yep.
but with discernment.
Yes.
with discernment.
I
Yes.
mean, I guess the idea there is you're always listening.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You're listening for the Holy Spirit and how to react and to to react correctly when you hear it, right?
Yeah.
I there's times when I've feel like I've been told just shut up. Like just shut up. Like there's nothing you can do, just shut up. And there's times when I feel like I should have said something and didn't.
Mm,
And that's a specific feeling that I I think I know quite well
Mhm.
and need to work on, right? But it's definitely not taking like the latest thing that you have decided is the right thing to do and forcing it upon everybody else.
mm,
You know,
Yeah.
yep.
I think a that's a mark of cultish behavior, honestly, because that's something we see in Islam, that wherever they go, they want to force their laws upon everybody else, no matter whether or not it's even accepted by the world, or whether their laws are right, or anything to do with it.
Mm.
It's their laws, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good comparison right there.
Like in Islam, teetotalism, there's no alcohol. You can't drink at all. Right? Now we look in the New Testament, we look in the Bible, and there is drunkenness, and then there is the correct use of wine and certain types of drinks, and they're seen as good. They are obviously seen as good. They're written about as if they are good.
Mm.
But drunkenness is still a thing.
Yep.
And that you should be aware of your weaknesses, and you should not lead your brothers to sin because of theirs.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a certain mark of evil to force a certain rule upon somebody when they don't see it themselves.
Yeah.
Certain rules.
Yep.
Other rules, not so much.
Yeah.
Other rules, we should enforce those, and that's why there's a justice system. But
yeah.
anyway.
Yep. Got anything left, Kyle?
Solid.
Copy. I wonder if that's why, like, Qatar and UAE and all those places was a 2-drink limit. Because we were in that country.
Find middle ground.
Yeah, they're like
America versus you're on our land.
Okay. I've also read things about those places, like the UAE specifically. There are certain rules that are believed in certain sects of Islam that if you're not within their boundaries physically, then the law doesn't apply to you and you can do whatever you want.
I found the opposite to be true there. Like, if you steal something there, they're actually cutting your hand off. Like, that is a real thing in UAE.
Yeah, but I've read about the business and getting Western women to travel to those places to be high-priced prostitutes. And the things that they say that they're allowed to do because they're not inside, Saudi Arabia, so they can do them. But if they're inside Saudi Arabia, nope, the law applies, so they can't do them there.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a weird morality.
UAE was very different. Like Qatar, when I was there, 09 and 12, something like that, it was very, very, very strict. Like, I mean, very strict. I go to UAE and it was like Western. It was Westernized a lot. Like, it was kind of crazy, but the law they took very seriously. And they say that it's the safest city on earth is Abu Dhabi or Dubai, one of the two. You can leave a box full of Rolexes on a car and you can walk away and come back 3 days later and they will all still be there because they fear that law so much there. Now, but here's the crazy part. Like, because what you were saying is like the law doesn't apply if you're not around. I've heard the same thing to an extent, and in that same manner of what you're talking about as well, about with Western women, or Americans, Americans. That I didn't see in other countries. Like, in other countries, it was the law is the law all the time. Like, they even abided by it within their own personal dwelling. Like those, I saw that extreme because once you're in your personal dwelling, the rules change for them. But it was so strict in some of these countries that like it was applicable inside the dwelling too. Like I saw one level extremism to the next, and it was just I'm like, wow, this is borderline insane to me. Like I'm just looking around going, how do you people live? Like this is stupid. Like security cameras do no good there. Everybody's face is covered. I'm just like, well, how do you pick out that person? You know, like I'm not trying to be away about it, but
Well, you know,
it's a fair point.
in that culture, women
Retinal
are
scans.
property, so you just confiscate all the property if one of them steals something.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. And
yeah,
it's
yeah. It's a very weird thing.
I regret bringing it up.
No,
Um,
I don't. It's fine. It is what it is. But I mean, I've
well,
had
now
experience there though.
thinking about it,
Well, I
Mhm.
mean, there,
I've never
it's good. Yeah, you don't really want to go there. I promise.
well, no, I don't wanna leave home.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say when I went, if there'd be a completely different reaction between when I went before and when I went now, because I was super naive. I thought I
Yeah.
was invincible back in the day. Like,
Yeah, and you know, like you, I started thinking about this late last year because I think it was at the
Mhm,
beginning of 2024 or 2025. They were wanting to send me to Djibouti.
mhm.
And this is why I got out of the reserves, is because that was coming down the pipeline, and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna go," and I was like, "No, I'm not." But now I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, you know, if I would have taken that one, being who I am now, that may have looked completely different. That actually would have
Mhm.
probably been more dangerous for me than going before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because of
yeah.
who I am. And I don't know, I thought about that a lot. That's actually kind of wrecked me for a little bit because I was like, man, if I would have
oh,
went,
being Christian rather than
mm-hmm,
just being world and going along
yeah,
with things. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that would have
Well, it's like
that could
that
have played out very differently.
yeah, it's like that one the young man who got up and talked about the mission they were going on.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "All the easy places
We've hit.
have
Yeah.
already been taken."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is a scary
You
thought.
know, he used the same language as what we used. That's what I thought was funny. Undisclosed location in Southwest Asia. I was like, dude,
Mhm,
that's exactly what we used to say when we would go somewhere over there. Is like we're going to an
mhm.
undisclosed location in Southwest Asia. Like
That's
I
confidential.
was like, yeah.
Where you going? It's confidential.
Yeah.
It
But meanwhile,
Or find out.
You can Google Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar right now. You
I
know what I mean?
know. I know. Just pull it up on Google Earth.
That but when I heard that, I was like, I know exactly the region he's going to. And
Mhm.
I was just like, man, God be with you, brother.
Yeah, I was gonna
And then
say God
I was
bless.
talking to that Egyptian guy, and man, I don't want to. I think it's Nader. That's how you pronounce his name, Nader. Um, Nader. And I was talking to him about because he's Egyptian, and we were talking about the Middle East and Muslims converting and all these things, and he was saying that the attrition rate for converted Muslims is uh, now make sure my verbiage is correct. Attrition means like drop out, right? Like they revert back.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, the attrition rate's super high for converted Muslims to Christianity because there's no community there for them to fall back to or to fall back on when they convert. So because the community there is mostly Muslim, he goes the attrition rate for converts is super high because their community is the Muslim world. And he was saying that's why like you're starting to see a lot of underground churches pop up in Iran is because they need that community for the believers. And they actually have churches now in Iran that have been started and are being preached by converted Muslims to Christianity. And he was telling me about all this stuff and I was like, "Man, like what a wild thing." And he goes, "Right now Iran is experiencing the biggest um what's that word called? Revival that they've ever seen for Christianity. Like men are having dreams, having visions. Like that's biblical. That is a biblical thing. It's just super crazy. That guy was very cool to talk to. Very interesting. Vincent, if you haven't met him and he comes back, I'm gonna introduce you to him.
I
Super
might.
super
That
cool
sounds
guy.
like interesting things.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting to think about it because we hear the prodigal son,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
We like to think about the parable through the eyes of the prodigal son. But the eldest son best describes who we are in a Western country that's dominated, or not even dominated by, but the biggest religion in the United States is Christianity. We are not the prodigal son holistically. We may be it in our own story sometimes,
Mhm.
but we are the eldest son who is upset when his father slaughters the fattened calf to celebrate his brother's return, right?
Mm.
Which is why, sometimes it seems like all of the really crazy things are happening for somebody else. Somebody else is getting the visions.
Mhm.
Somebody else is getting that intervention. Somebody else, it's coming upon them like in a stroke of lightning, like it came upon Paul.
Mhm.
But it's happening to them because they are in the place of greatest need.
Mhm.
They are in the place of the greatest falling away. They have fallen further. And it's our job to praise him when these things happen,
Yeah.
right? And to hold down the farm while the prodigal son is away,
Mhm.
so to speak.
Yeah. That's a good. I've never thought of it that way. Like, is in a broader sense instead of an individualistic viewpoint. That's cool.
Right, because there's layers to this.
Well, yeah.
Some days you're the prodigal son yourself,
Mhm.
right? But you have to look around you and look at the community that we have.
Yeah.
Like really do have to like leave to go find those really desperate places.
Mhm.
There's desperate people around us, but we're
Yeah.
not in a desperate place.
Yeah. And while that may be true, though, like with that saying of like all the easy places have been taken or whatever, like there's still a lot of people even in those easy places. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
you're right.
And
Because the eldest brother was upset
mhm.
that he wasn't celebrated the way he felt he should have been.
Yeah.
Right. So there's the prideful, there's the spiritually prideful, there's those who, just fall away
Mhm.
or feel like the word has failed them because they don't have what is going on in a place that needs it more.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. And that part is unfortunate because I had the opportunity to talk to a close friend um a couple weeks ago, or not a close friend, but a friend that I was close to when I was growing up. And I was speaking with this person, and that was very much the vibe that I got, or it's what that person said as well, is like, hey, I no longer believe in God because he abandoned me. Like, and my heart hurt for that, and I said what I needed to say in response to that, and I'm not trying to put it out on the internet for business wise, but
Mhm.
just very vaguely, like it was very much that, you know what I mean? Like there's still broken people around us that could very much use what we have and what's been given to us, and to show that to them. And it the more I see it, the more we've done this now, we've learned so many times that like religion has broken people, has just wrecked people. This idea that, when something bad happens, that God's abandoned you. Like all these things, like you hear these stories, you hear what people are going through, and there is still such a need within our immediate area to just even go out and to meet people on a very human level and to just let them know, like, hey, man, like God hasn't abandoned you. He still loves you. Like all he's waiting for is you to go back to him. That's it. Like 100% that is it. He still loves you. He never left you. He never abandoned you. He allowed things to happen. So, and this is a perfect way to segue into what we're talking about tonight. So, so you can run towards him. Like that's the whole point. So, no matter how far you've gone into that rabbit hole, he's sitting there waiting. Like, and that is mind-boggling to me sometimes. That he is just sitting there waiting, going, "Are you done yet?" Like watching your child throw a temper tantrum. Are you done yet? Okay,
Yeah.
get back up. Let's go. You know what I mean? And that's it. To me, that is such an amazing thing. Like that's an amazing God that we have. Um, but you know, it just hurts me in a sense to know that that happens in our community, and we don't ever know that until we talk to folks and to hear what they have to say and to hear their stories, because a lot of people just want to be heard. Like there's so many people out there that they just want to vocalize what they've been through, what they're going through, all these things. And just to be an ear to that is almost more impactful in that person's life than the thousands of people that walk by them every day that don't care about that person. So to show care to a person that doesn't get the care that they're looking for, and to be that light and to be that example to them, that is the most it's such a desire at this point, just to be a person that can listen, that can go out and be like, "Hey, how's your day going?" Start there, right? And you know, the easy spots are taken. Yes, everybody, you know, as a majority, the United States, you can say, has heard the gospel, but not everybody has. Not everybody knows the love of God. You know, you can say that, you know, pick a country. All the easy ones are taken. Now it's the hard ones, right? But, you know, he left the 99 to find the one, so there's an importance to that one.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's okay being part of the 99.
It is. It is. I'm just saying from a ministry aspect, like, man, I think he rejoices just as much for that one. You know what I mean? And because, I mean, we were all the one, and we were all the 99 at some point. We've all been in both situations. So,
Right.
but, you know, I think that's all I have to say. I kind of went on a little tangent there, but
That's all I have to say about that.
I saw Kaylani's pronunciation thing, but it's wrong because that's not how he said his name to me. So I don't know what to say. Nadar. But the way he pronounced his name was Nader, Nader. So I don't know.
He may have Anglicanized it for you.
Well, that's he might have, but when Zach came up to me and was like, "Hey, I need you to meet this guy," and I was like, "Okay, what's his name?" Nader, and I was like, "Are you messing with me? Because if I call this guy Nader all I'm thinking of is cars, you know." And I'm like,
dude,
Cars?
you have no idea how much I've been clenching my jaw, trying not to say that.
Nader instead of Nader.
yeah,
Because I don't want to disrespect the dude. Every time you say this, like tomato, but without the tuh.
And you know, I could be way wrong. Maybe I didn't hear it right. I don't know. Maybe somebody will correct me. I mean, I've been corrected.
I was thinking, like,
but
listening to the radio.
yeah.
Nader's coming.
Yeah. But man, the guy was super smart guy, really awesome guy, really nice. if he's there, I'm gonna make it a point to introduce you to him because he is
Like a
fantastic to talk to.
tornado without the turd.
Fantastic to talk to.
Anyway,
Uh,
I saw you do him. I was like, what's going on over there? I was busy. I don't know if you noticed.
all right, you sound like that sister that's like pissed that his sister's out taking care of or just sitting there at the feet of Jesus listening, and you're over there doing all the things.
No, I knew what I was doing.
Uh,
I accepted my fate.
no,
It's fine.
I mean, but luckily, I mean, all the deacons were there to help you, so
Yeah, no, it went off great.
yeah.
Yeah, I can honestly say though, I felt like I was doing what I should be doing
Mm-hmm. Doesn't that feel
on
good?
that day, right? And I got to talk to people,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. If I'd been said like you need to go out and talk to people,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I talked to more people doing what I should be doing than I would have if you had told me that I need to go talk to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's a good
Because
point.
we're all contrary little children.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Well, does anybody have anything else to add? I don't see anything in chat.
I would just like to add to echo what you were saying, Matt. If there is anyone out there that is going through that just needs an ear to let out some stuff, get a hold of us, or we can point you in the right direction for that. Because there's nothing worse than to have that darkness in your heart, to let it be festering, to let the enemy tell you the more that it festers, the more that it grips you, the more he has that control of, they're not going to listen to you, or what they're not going to help you, the more that it lets him have that opportunity. So if you're going through that hardship, if you have that on your heart, if you need to just let it out, let us know. We'll either be there for you, or we'll point in the right direction. So
good call out, buddy. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, Kyle, you want to pray us out?
Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight with praise and thanks for another day on this wonderful planet of yours, that you have allowed for us to walk amongst it, being able to spread your good word, be able to spread your love, and be able to pull people close to you. Lord, tonight I pray that you strengthen our spirit of discernment as we go out into the darkness. Please shed the light upon things that we need to spiritually run away from, and give us the power to be able to stand firm in your faith and be able to call out those things that are evil to you. Lord, if there's anything on our hearts that we ourselves are needing to run away from, I pray that those are enlightened to us. Please give us that opportunity to come and place them at your feet and ask for that forgiveness, and have that opportunity to turn away from those things and build that relationship with you. Lord, tonight I'd just like to say that we all love you. We all thank you for being a great father to us. I thank you for the opportunities that you have given me, and the communities that you have placed me in, that have blessed me with every walk that I have been a part of. Lord, I say all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Update on Haley's grandma. It says she's in a lot of pain. She can't take any pain pills because she's allergic to everything, but she's doing okay. No broken bones. Thank goodness, but her wrist is swollen. So
that's really unfortunate that she can't take anything because she's allergic to the pain. That's really
He tried
unfortunate.
marijuana. Sorry.
We do not recommend that.
We do not condone those actions.
I couldn't.
You know, Justin
that is the wrong gateway that we should be going through.
Yeah. Yeah. Never mind. I'm not gonna
I'm
say
sorry.
it.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but no, please do. Please, I'm sorry.
What?
No, whatever you're gonna say.
Oh no, no, not the place.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway, so, well, I think let's go ahead and end this one. We've gone past what we normally do for the devotional time, so let's go ahead and end it. And we'll be back again tomorrow at 7:30, and then tomorrow will be the last one until Sunday. So, but we'll be on the Grace Christian Fellowship page on Wednesday at 6:15, and we'll remind everybody tomorrow of that as well. But until then, Skip was signing off. Adios.
Have a blessed night, everybody.
bye-bye.